Good afternoon, everyone. Brand Ambassador Jeanette for Fast Facts and Features. And Kevin, I'm wearing a little pop of red because tomorrow is Remembrance Day. And wanted to give a little, shout out to our military and those that fought for us to have these small businesses. And to our American followers, I know you're out there, happy Veterans Day tomorrow as well. So let's all just pause tomorrow. And I'm sure you're closed tomorrow, correct? Yeah.
Yes, we are. Absolutely. Yeah.
So let's all just take a little pause and go, thank you for our freedom and that we get to do our greatest work because others fought for our freedom. So just a little plug for our military out there that keep us safe. So you keep people safe, Kevin, when it comes to picking out hardwood floor.
Yeah, not quite the same level of service, but we do our best. Yes.
Absolutely. So we left off with you starting to, we learned about all the different components of a good hardwood floor, the one platform, and then you were going to show us the second platform. And what I'd like to get to today is, what is the purpose of each, the lamella, the plywood core, the balancing board? What is all the purpose of all the components? Okay.
Sounds great. Yeah. So where do you want to start?
Let's go to the secondary platform you were going to show us.
All right. So we did the Mirage engineered platform last week, which was I guess you could call it a traditional plywood platform with cross-hatched layers. Mirage uses the best plywood in the business, which is marine grade Baltic birch plywood, which we talked about. But they've recently started transitioning to this platform. Not a full transition. They definitely still do quite a bit of the plywood. And especially now with supply chain issues globally, they've actually gone back a bit heavier into the plywood substrate just for the time being. But this is what's called their True Balance platform, and it is a full 3/4 inch thick. So for a lot of the traditional folks who think of hardwood floor must be 3/4 of an inch thick, which it was with solid wood flooring, this achieves that, but it does it in a far technically superior way. That's something that solid wood floor can't touch, in my opinion. So we have just on the short end here, again, we have a 3-layer system where we have a very thin balancing layer. Okay. We have the core material, which I'll show you in a second. It's called an SPF core, which refers to spruce pine fir. So it's a mixture of softwoods. And then we have the top lamella, which is again the hardwood layer. So in both the plywood platform that I showed you last week and on the True Balance platform here, the top lamella is 4 millimeters thick in both of those, which is a very healthy and arguably technically perfect thickness for hardwood. So there's no difference in the change of the thickness of the wood, just a bit of a change in the difference of the overall thickness. So as I turn here, I don't want to block my face. As we look on well, maybe we do.
Yeah, we do, because this is a fascinating platform.
It is. So maybe that's a pretty good shot there.
Yeah.
So as I mentioned, this is made out of fillets or pickets, which you can potentially see as I move it across there. And as I mentioned, it's an SPF, so it's a mixture of spruce, pine, and fir, domestically grown softwoods that are abundantly available, grow quickly. So that's a great environmental or minimal environmental impact. And these pickets they go perpendicular to the face or the direction of the wood. So the oak layer in this case is running this way along the plank. Maybe if I back up a little bit. Okay, yeah. The fillets or the pickets are running perpendicular to that. And then the balancing layer on the back is running again the same direction as the hardwood lamella on the top. So, and as you can see on the tongue side, same thing. That core material runs throughout the entire core or middle of the floor.
So just so I can recap what I'm seeing out here, because I'm pretending to be your customer watching this video. I see that when you say the top is running one way, and when I look at the grain, it's running this way. So structurally I'm behaving this way, right? And that the little pickets, when I take a look at it, I'm seeing the grain running this way. So does that mean my structure is different?
Well, that's to your point when you were saying about the, what is the purpose of the engineered floor? And
Right.
this is a great segue into that.
Okay.
It's basically to oppose forces or movement forces of the actual hardwood top layer. So the problem with solid wood floor as a starting point is 3/4 of an inch thick and of basically a hunk of tree, as I call it with people. And that's not disparaging it. It's just what it is. There's no technology. It's just a tree that's been dried. It's been cut out with a tongue and groove on it, and away you go. The problem with that is that as the temperature and the relative humidity changes in the home throughout the seasons from summer to winter, the floor may not be able to withstand those changes or those fluctuations without changing shape. And so in the winter, that might be shrinking and actually creating gaps in between the boards, sometimes fairly large gaps. And in the summer, as the humidity increases and the wood takes on that humidity or that moisture, it'll actually grow and you can start getting a cupping effect. That's quite normal within a solid wood floor. So the engineered floor is designed and built to help mitigate against that. So if we have our, let's say our top layer, the planks are running this way, let's say it's the oak, the core material is running perpendicular to that. So they're all going, at 90 degrees to that in the core. And then the bottom balancing layers again is the bottom of the sandwich, and it's running in the same direction as the top hardwood lamella. And so the intention of that is, as let's say it's winter and part of it wants to shrink because the humidity in the air is low, it's quite dry, the wood will dry out, it'll want to shrink. We hope that the core material is counteracting movement or that's going to happen, let's say on the hardwood top layer. So the end result is that we have a floor that stays together, where the gaps or the joints stay very tight. We have very minimal gapping, if at all, in the winter, and we have no excessive expansion, or which would create cupping or a wave type appearance on the surface during the summer. So
one question I have immediately, because we've covered this before, and those of you that stay tuned and watch, is, but this is a different wood than what these are to what this is. Don't they all take on and off humidity differently? So how does that work?
They sure do. And that's where you want a well-made engineered wood floor versus an inferior quality one. So you want one that, potentially there's been the R&D or the research and development that's been done within proper lab environment, within chambers that can mimic humidity swings and temperature swings and all of these type of things. So yeah, if you just take a floor and make something that looks like an engineered wood floor, but actually hasn't had any proper testing done, yeah, you can have something that's going to potentially fail, and potentially in fairly short order. But as I say, when I'm showcasing this to a client, I'll say, what is a well-made engineered wood floor, something that's had proper testing and development behind it, is probably one of the best quality products in the flooring industry that you can buy. So Bois-Franc, in this instance, the parent company of Mirage, they've obviously done the testing to make sure that this SPF core, as it moves through the humidity range, works with the top hardwood lamella. And they actually have one of the widest warranted range in the industry for relative humidity. And this is really important, and it's not something to just kind of gloss over. They warrant their floors from a low relative humidity of 25% all the way up to a maximum of 75%. Now that warranty coverage or that range encompasses almost everything that we see in the Vancouver area. So for us, that's fantastic. Some other products might be a warranted range of 40% on the low to 60% on the high. So we've narrowed the band, so to speak. And a solid wood floor should be kept between 45 and 55%. So we have a very narrow acceptable window. So the fact that Mirage is warranting their product under such almost extreme environmental conditions, shows that they truly believe in the product and they're willing to put their warranty and to back it. So that says a lot to us, and so does our real world experience with the product. It hasn't failed us yet.
Well, you know what? We're coming to the top of the 10 minutes, and I'm going to say something. It's but wait, there's more. Let's carry this conversation on next week about we've had the 2 episodes of the good, and how good is made. Let's get into, let's call it inferior hardwood floor next time, because I know you're itching and I'm itching for you to show that piece that you have of a floor that is, say, rated inferior in ethical flooring's mind. There's other hardwood floor companies that may go, it's the top of their line. And then we will get into, we'll wrap this up in November with making sure that you choose the right engineered floor for different heating, different areas in your home. So we've got the complete project wrapped up, because now I'm fascinated to go 3/4 of an inch over radiant floor heat. Is that possible? So
Great.
Kevin, park that question until the end of the month, where we wrap up engineered hardwood flooring and how it's made, good versus bad. So thank you so much.
Thanks, Jeanette.